Yeah, thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And, before I get going talking about our game, I want to congratulate the Cubs, the Ricketts family, the entire organization. What a special week it was in Chicago. And to see the outpouring of support, for that organization, I think was absolutely spectacular. So now the only thing left in my life is a Red Line World Series. And if the Cubs can win the World Series, that's going to happen. So I believe it. Look forward to the South Side squad catching up to the North Side squad. So we got kind of like us, got a lot of work to do. But at any rate, congratulations, and we really appreciate all their support. They've been great to our program, great to our university, great to our athletic department, and just want to congratulate them from our football team. As far as the game goes, played right into Wisconsin's hands. I mean, they're a very good football team, but we knew how critical third down was going to be, and for us to be 5 of 18. And for them almost to be at 50% obviously tells you the difference in the game. They had obviously then a time of possession opportunity, which they always do. Similar when you play Wisconsin, you play Iowa, teams that are going to spend time in the huddle. You've got to win on third down. It's critically important. And obviously we failed at that today. But we still had a chance going to the fourth quarter against the number 8 ranked team in the country. And then we, self-inflicted wounds, critical error on the penalty. And then really a decision that I think Clayton would love to have back, take the sack, play field position, and let's go live to fight another day. And I think it just shows how hard he's trying to play to help us win. But sometimes you just got to take the loss and live to fight another day. And so, maturation of a young player, it's not those one plays. I mean, it was as a team. We didn't cover the one punt well. Their punter had maybe he came out early and worked his wedge. Geez. I mean, I've never seen the ball bounce the way it did for that young man today. So congratulations to him. But had our opportunities, didn't get it done, disappointing, and we got 3 big ones ahead of us to find a way to get into postseason. So with that, how about some questions, please?
It seemed like your receivers were well covered the whole game. Did Thorson have some opportunities they didn't see, or what do you think?
I thought we had a few more drops today than we typically have had all year. That's one area. I think they did a great job mixing some things up. And, we had some things that we're talking that this is open, go here, so on and so forth. So I'll credit Wisconsin without watching the tape. But just from the boundary, I know that we had more drops than we had all year, maybe combined.
Coach, look at the last 2 games, tough physical ones against really highly ranked opponents, emotional games. How do you make sure that they stay the course heading into, the stretch run against 3 teams that maybe aren't as highly ranked but will give you battles?
Well, it's got nothing to do with who we're playing. It has everything to do with how we approach our preparation. It has everything to do with how we play. This is Big Ten football. Anybody can win on any given Saturday. Everybody's well coached. Everybody was heavily recruited to get it to this level. I have zero concern about our opponents per se. I have 100% concern about us. So my hope is that it does hurt. It should hurt. We've basically given away 2 games here the last 2 weeks against 2 very good opponents. I'm not minimizing the challenge that we had in front of us, but it's not like we played clean enough to win. And when you don't do that against 2 very good teams, and I think maybe Wisconsin may be the most complete team that we saw on tape in all 3 phases. They don't typically beat themselves. They're obviously very stout defensively, and forced us to be one-dimensional today, and we just weren't able to get it done being one-dimensional.
Coach, that holding penalty on Eric Olson at the beginning of the 4th, what went wrong on that play, and how did that stall the momentum of the drive?
That was a mental error.
And then on a few plays later, the Thorson's mistake that you mentioned, can you talk about just how much those few instances helped sort of turn the tide back?
Yeah, we had momentum going to the 4th, and it just killed it. Just simply put. We've got momentum. We're first and 10 at the 19, and we end up fumbling the ball and giving Wisconsin a short field. You can't do that and expect to beat a very good team. So credit them. They made the plays. We didn't.
You mentioned their defense, and they've gotten a lot of attention for what they've been able to do on that side of the ball. How big of a challenge was that, and especially what they were able to do against your run game?
Again, I haven't watched the tape, so it's pretty hard for me to make a total assessment of it. But it looked like we weren't getting to the second level, and that's obviously on us. We got to figure out how to be able to get our guys better angles and better opportunities to get the run game going. I really thought we were going to have some opportunities to get some things going, so I've got to take a look at it on tape to really give you an assessment. So that was the difference in the game, our inability to run the football.
Coach, you talk about establishing balance early, and you guys came out through a lot of passes early. Was that something that was part of the game plan to kind of throw Wisconsin off balance, or was that just something that you thought there would be a weakness there?
Well, we thought we had some good matchups, we came out, I think, with a really solid plan to start. And then once we tried to establish the run game with some different things, again, it looked like we just weren't getting to the second level and getting to the linebackers very often. So, those guys, I think, had a ton of tackles, so that's what it looked like to me.
Had some up and down performances this season. How do you evaluate their performance today?
Down.
Read on that at all? What
I
did they do
haven't
wrong?
watched the tape, man. I mean, we didn't run the ball, so not good enough. Not good enough. Today was not good enough.
What do you think was happening so well in that drive right before the first half? Why did that one go so differently than the others?
Well, it looked like we executed, Teddy, from my vantage point. You guys got a much better look at it than I do from the boundary. But it looked like we executed. We threw it and caught it well. We were able to then pop a long run and, shorten the field. And I thought Clayton made a hell of a throw there to AC. And we knew there were going to be small windows. And he stepped up, threw a great throw there. So, again, just for the record, we were trying to do that every series. It just didn't work. So it'd be nice if we did.
I know after losses you don't like to talk individual stats, but another big game for AC. But it seems like he's a guy that Wisconsin was kind of able to key on, and the other guys struggled to win one-on-one matchups. What do you make of kind of the wide receiver play overall outside of Austin?
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think we had more drops than we've had, and I think that's maybe a little bit different. I mean, you think about the first drive of the third quarter. I mean, we got a great call, and we dropped the ball on a third down. It's going to be a first down. So we had to make them play defense today. That was obviously the plan, was to force them to play defense. The only way we could do that is being third manageable and pick up third downs, be over 50% in third down conversions, and obviously we failed at that today. So played right into their hands, and credit them. There's a reason why they're ranked 8th in the country. That's a good football team.
Coach, obviously Jalen Prater is one of your leading tacklers. It's tough not to have him out there. What did you make of Brett Walsh's performance today?
Yeah, I think Brett in his first start, I think he was competitive. I think he fit some plays really well. I think there were some plays after I watched the tape he'll learn from and grow. But yeah, it's what do we have? 11 guys down for the year, and 8 of them were starters at some point. Then you had guys like Jalen that aren't out for the year. You got quite a few guys that have had to step up, and Brett's one of those guys. So, I'm proud of him. A couple weeks ago we were at Iowa, and how quickly we forget that he doesn't, he leads the field on a cart, and he's out there starting a game about a month later. So, think about what he's been through. Really proud of him.
And then what went wrong schematically or execution-wise on that 46-yard end-around touchdown?
From my vantage point, it looked like our end squeezed a little bit too fast. It looked like our Willie linebacker was flying, and then we got it turned back, but our inside-out pursuit wasn't there. So that's what it looked like for me. Pretty good run. Yeah. You made a nice cutback move. Who was that, Peavy? Was it 11? Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, he's a really good player. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day. Go Cats.
I'll hang on to it for one of each. Clayton, on the 3rd and 21, do you want to mulligan on that decision to try to throw it?
I should have just kept it there. I wasn't trying to take a sack and get us out of field goal range. But, I probably should have just kept it and taken that sack in that time. That gave him a lot of momentum, so can't do that.
Austin, you were still able to get free for 12 catches, but was their coverage better than, the other teams you faced this season? I mean, it seems like they were glued pretty well on a lot of them.
I think that they're a good defense. I think that up front, in the back, there's a reason why they're a top-ranked team. They didn't throw anything extra special at us, I don't think. And, I think there were some times when we did feel like we were open, but, we got to be a full unit. All 11 guys have to be clicking and on the same page to get us the ball. And I don't think we did that enough today.
Clayton and Austin just talked about their defense, obviously, but both in the passing game and especially in the rushing game, how much of a challenge was it to go against them?
They're very good, and we saw that on film. So it's kind of what we expected. That's kind of drives our defense, their front seven. So I got to do a better job giving our O-line the right protection and, vice versa. So we just got to get better. But they're a very good team.
Both guys, I mean, you played a couple top 10 teams the last couple weeks. And Coach was asked just a moment ago about, what's the impact of coming up short in games like that as you go forward. Could you talk about that? What, kind of approach for the rest of the way?
Yeah. I think we're just tired of being close. We want to push through what feels like this limit that we keep shooting ourselves in the foot against these really good teams. And we got to give Wisconsin credit. They played great. They're one of the hardest working teams in the Big Ten, I think. But when we beat ourselves, you can't beat two teams in the same day, especially against such a good team like Wisconsin. So, it felt like we either sputtered or slipped or the ball didn't bounce our way. And when you combine all those, it's just tough. But I think we're going to respond. Like in the beginning of the year when we didn't have the start that we wanted, we responded. And that's what we have to do.
Clayton, what do you think was different on that drive late in the first half that you guys were able to go down the field so quickly from maybe the rest of the drives that weren't as successful as that one?
I thought we executed very well, up front and in the passing game. Our receivers did a great job of getting open. But we were just playing fast. I think we've seen that a few different times this year. When we play fast, when we really tempo, and when we throw it all over the field, we can go down there pretty quick. So I think that drive, we did that, and we showed that we can do that a lot. So we just got to continue to do that more consistently throughout the game.
You guys struggled on third down today, I think. The numbers weren't great there. Was there anything in specific that made it really tough? I know Wisconsin, throughout the latter stages, kind of was able to get a good push up front, Clayton and then Austin as well.
I think we had too many third and longs, 8+. Again, good defenses shut good offenses even down on third and long. And our offense is designed. We have a good play caller, I think, in Coach McCall, and I think that guys trust the system. But we've got to get ahead of the sticks on first down and second down, so that come third down we have manageable routes to run, manageable distances.
Yeah, I think echoing what AC said, we got the right plays in there to be called. But when we're on 3rd and 12, 3rd and 10, and they can just tee off, and those DNs can come up field, that front seven is real good. In a lot of different places, they got some good pass rushers, and it just can't happen. We got to get positive yards on first and second down, and that'll help us on third down.
You two connected on a 32-yard catch and run at the end of the third quarter to set you guys up, driving only down by 6. How did that sort of invigorate the offense, and then how quickly did it dissipate in the ensuing set of downs?
Yeah, I think whenever AC catches the ball, everyone kind of gets a little more buzz about him. You even hear it in the stands sometimes. But I think it helped a lot, but shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, I felt like we got some juice then.
Yeah.
I felt like that swung the momentum a little bit, and that's the kind of Northwestern football I think we like to play. We like to make those big plays that'll shift the momentum of a game, and we just need to capitalize. I think that was at the end of the third quarter. Yeah, just saw Coach Fitz yelling like a maniac. It's just full of energy, joy. It was a lot of fun, and we just need more plays like that, whether it's me or anybody else.
Anthony, the decision to wear Matt's 11, had it come about, and were you talking to him much either today or during the week?
Actually, Andrew Scanlon came up with the idea. He just said, why not honor Matt, by wearing his number? And he figured that, I was kind of close to him. It's my roommate and everything. So, just decided to wear it for him. And, number 11 means so much to him. So why not honor him and his family that way? He can't play the game anymore, but he's still our brother on the field.
Is it going to be a permanent switch?
Not right now. So, yeah, I'll go back.
For both of you guys, you were able to create a lot of turnovers, and then the last couple games you haven't had any. Is that kind of a matter of not really having opportunities, or is it something that you guys can do better on your end? What do you make of that?
Who's from the defensive side or defensive backfield side. Last week going against Braxton, he was really smart with the ball. He was checking down the ball every time he thought that there was a possibility that anything could happen. This week, man, we should have been able to make more plays. It was crucial for us to be able to do so. I don't think all season we've punched the ball out, except for like creating fumbles. The only fumbles that we've created are really from the D-line. On the quarterback, I don't think we've punched any balls out, and that's been a point of emphasis for us the whole season, and we haven't been able to do so. So it's critical that we need to be the ones that are facilitating, and, you know, turnovers is one of the leading factors of victories, and we're not doing all that great at it right now.
Braxton Miller will appreciate you.
I'm sorry, Braxton? I was wondering why y'all are laughing.
Trying to tackle Clement, and I know he had a big head of steam on that 2-yard touchdown run. I think you were trying to stop him there. What's it like dealing with him?
Definitely a shifty guy, but also he's well balanced and he could definitely bring power. I came downhill one time, and probably any guy other than him, maybe low center of gravity as well. The way I hit him with a full head of steam and he just kind of bounced off me. Definitely a good and talented back, and one of the catalysts that keeps their offense going for sure.
For either of you guys, Wisconsin really seemed to run the ball very well today. I think they had like over 200 yards before the quarterback just started running around at the end of the game. What were they doing well, and what were they doing like that maybe you guys were not doing well against them?
They had a great scheme to come out against us, running the truck scheme and blocking down and pulling the center and the guard. So kind of getting us to the edge a little bit and, just making the corners make tackles. For the most part, I think corners hung in there and made plays. But, you never want to have your corners, tackling a 200-pound back every time. So that was a good scheme with that. And then I think we were there most of the time. Most of the game, we were there to make plays. You just got to make tackles and get off the field. I think, this was probably the most missed tackles we've had as a team in today's game. And we can't have that going against, one of the best run game offenses that we've gone against.
Did you guys prepare this week for both of their quarterbacks? And then were there any challenges that having a right-handed and a left-handed quarterback presented?
At least speaking for the defensive backfields, we kind of treated them as both similar quarterbacks. Both of the quarterbacks were willing to take shots and also willing to throw the one-on-one ball. And we thought that was a place that we could capitalize. And going against their receivers, we knew that we'd have chances. I'm thinking, at least for me, I fell short on one of those when, I thought I had the guy pretty covered. But again, he was able to throw a nice ball and a nice shot. But we kind of prepare for them as similar quarterbacks. The ball and trajectory coming out of right hand versus left hand, not really much of a difference in my opinion.
How do those two teams that you've played the last 2 weeks compare or contrast? And if you had to tee it up against one or the other, again, which one would you rather see?
Big Ten football, you rather play against you. You line up and play the game. Who's ever the next opponent. It's not really a preference. You don't get that choice. So, you're willing to play against whoever as long as you get the opportunity to play. And again, you go against Ohio State, a team that likes to spread the ball around and get to the edges. And you're playing against a team like Wisconsin who wants to run the ball right at you. So, two different schemes, but for the most part, still trying to run the ball. Both teams trying to get their playmakers the ball and. That's just the name of the game. Get your playmakers the ball and allow them to make plays.
Yeah, I agree, but I'd take either of them. Honestly, another shot at either of them, especially because these are teams that are understood and recognized as like the upper echelon of the Big Ten, and that's where we want to be. And we're cutting it close, but we just want to have a breakthrough, to be honest. And I think I'd maybe even lean a little bit more towards Ohio State with their pedigree and prestige and. Those wins, we just need to figure out a way to get them.
I know it's all about. I don't want to know every week, blah, blah, blah. But you need 2 wins now to make a bowl game. You think you guys will start talking about that this week? I'm sorry, you need 1 win. No, wait. You need to go 2-1 in your final 3 to make a bowl game. Will that start to become talked about?
Want to know every week, like you said. That's it.
Yeah. 3-0.
How do you respond to tough losses like these ones to kind of motivate yourselves to go through the next 3-game stretch and end the season?
I think for the most part, you keep saying, man, we're so close, and you get tired of hearing that. So again, you don't want to keep reiterating that, but again, we're close. I mean, I think we all feel that as a team. 13-7, number 8 team in the nation, going into the fourth quarter with all the momentum. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So we're right there. I mean, we have the guys internally to get it done. We just have to get it done.
Great.